can't handle the truth.
I don't know, man. Every time I put out an album, or every time I'm about to release an album, for some fucking strange reason, man, you know what I'm saying? I always lose somebody close to me. It was my pops, it was Yams, it was my sister. Like, I always lose somebody close to me, so, you know, shit feel like, you know, some crazy shit, like a jinx or some shit. Without being superstitious or just paranoid, I just, you know, take a toll out of niggas, just do shit, bro.
Your parents are from Senegal.
Yeah, Senegal, West Africa.
Your dad picked out your mother when she was 2 years old. This is what I heard. And he chose her for a wife. He raised her to the age of 16 and then married her.
Yeah, my pops was 10 years older than my mom.
He chose her when he was 12.
Something like that.
Yeah. And she was 2.
At the time, he said, yo, when she get older, I'm marrying her.
And he raised her. You're acting like that's normal. That's crazy. I mean, that had to have a huge effect on you. What you say to your old man, Dad? How could that be destiny? I mean, you can't look at a 2-year-old and say, that's my destiny right there.
He's like, I knew it.
And what
That's weird, kind of weird.
It is. I grew up in a like my mom and pops was very well off.
So how did you become a car thief? I mean, what kind of thing? And then you did jail time. But it's questioned as to some people claim you didn't do as much jail time as you claim.
How much jail time is claimed?
About close to 3 years.
Prison time were, in their words, exaggerated, embellished, or wholly fabricated. Even going as far as to suggest that the con in Akon's name should stand for contrived stolen car charges. And as part of that deal, Akon agreed to be transferred back to Georgia to serve 3 years probation, not locked up.
Yeah. Your dad was working at KFC.
Yep.
Top Dog went in to rob KFC.
Mm-hmm.
Is this right?
Yeah.
And he meets your father.
Mm-hmm.
And Top Dog's got a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad somehow thinks, I don't want to get into any shit with this guy. I'm going to charm him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even offer him some free KFC. Mm-hmm. And Top Dog liked your father.
True story.
And did not rob the KFC because of your dad. And now you're working with Top Dog.
Funny how life is, right?
It's the craziest story I've ever heard.
This guy, Top Dog, he has his own record company, right? And he's the guy who signed you.
Yeah.
Speak to Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucifer.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's when I go inside, I may do an after party. I may do an after party, and this is how I'll be able to write these records, because it's not just the positive energy that speaks to me, it's the negative too, it's the evils too, and we all have temptations.
Right.
You know, Lucy is one of my favorite records because it's me actually coming to realization of the evils rather than acting like it's not going around.
But it reminded me a little bit of Snoop.
Yeah.
And Murder Was the Case.
Mm-hmm.
Where he had that conversation with the devil, with Lucifer, and that temptation was in his face.
I searched up Dookie B Instagram profile, and I started swiping, and this is what I found. Are these celebrities hiding something from the public? Let me know what you think in the comments. Keep watching to the end.
Secondly, Jimmy Kimmel, viral this. I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet. And until they release the flight logs, you, the mainstream media, Hollywood, are all pedophiles to me. Eat dick. Am I canceled yet.com?
Ghislaine Maxwell just got put away for 20 years. So she was supplying kids for all these fucking pedos, right? Where's the list? Is that just gets like, I don't know.
It's kind of weird that got no coverage, but Johnny Depp and Amber was
everywhere. Yeah, and I'm like, so the list of, you know, politicians and actresses and actors or whatever that they talked about, does that get swept under the rug? Do they not get any time for actually fucking those kids? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, that's weird that how that just doesn't compute with me.
Got a real problem with demons, she told Complex magazine. Apparently, she went to a haunted cemetery called Stull Cemetery near Kansas City.
And it's actually supposedly one of the gateways to hell, supposed gateways to hell. This is what she said happens.
I felt this sick, overwhelming feeling of negativity over the whole car, and we smelled sulfur, which is the sign of a demon. She said, "This is scary, let's leave." I rolled down the window before we left and said, "We apologize. We didn't mean to disrupt your peace." Then I took a picture, and there are 3 super distinct faces in the picture. They're faces of textbook demons.
She tried to send it to her manager, but it wouldn't download because it said it was too many megabytes. In fact, it was 666 megabytes.
Ariana is obviously very passionate about this demon encounter. She actually had a whole folder on her phone entitled Demons, but when the interviewer asked to see it, she said she had actually deleted it because so many crazy occurrences were happening. Ariana also said that she felt like the demons followed her back home. She had an encounter where she was sleeping, where she saw this black figure over her bed. She didn't want to feed the fear. She thought it was there, it wanted to scare her, so she just called her friend and she fell asleep on the phone. When she woke up, the room was demon-free.
Tommy was like, "What about I've seen the devil?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's fun. Let's tell that story." And then yeah.
That seems fun.
Yeah, I love that. Tommy was like, "What about the devil?" I was like, "Fun."
Boy who lives in me. He says the things that I don't want to say. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
Put this dress on and then take your pants off, and this is gonna get you big time.
Show business has to do with compromise and wearing the mask. I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, why all these brothers gotta wear a dress? This happened to me. So I walk in a trailer, like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. Thank you, the writer. You got this hilarious scene, Martin sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. He put this dress on and, what? The prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. David, really would be great if you wear the dress. What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? The minute it was clear, I was adamant. I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. It comes back 10 minutes later. The whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like so.
Kevin Hart wearing a dress in the SNL skit. And Dave Chappelle spoke about that as a comedian. Black actors are always, being asked to wear a dress. And what do you think about that whole Illuminati theory that people...
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we're against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, the press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote. Not necessary for us to store up that hornet's nest. We intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times.
Rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year. It's over, and the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
I'll let you in on a little something, I'm not going to drop names. These are black producers. A guy named Kevin Brown and Andre Brown, who was later on 30 Rock, but they would come to us and they would tell us about vanity and losing your mind in Hollywood and be careful. And they came back from Hollywood to try and expand us. And they sat us down and they're like, you ain't gonna believe what we saw. I'm like, what'd you see? And they said, we saw so-and-so, huge name, so-and-so, huge name, and so-and-so, big name back in the day, chicken hawking at a party. And I went, what? See, you're white. I said, what's chicken hawking? Everyone like, he's white. He don't know chicken hawking. That's when you hanging out with boys at a transvestites. I went, what? See, now you're telling stories. I never forgot that. 3 years later, this name, ping. Huh.
Busted chicken hawking.
That one's sick. This one, bing, busted.
Yeah.
Huh. They swept that up. That's what I call... to me, Hollywood's a mafia. It's a big, dark mafia. Listen, You sign this, you do some movies there, we'll put the soul on the table, we got enough money to make this go away. Ping, it's gone. No one ever brings it up. No one ever brings it up with this person. By the time I started doing Saturday Night Live and Half Baked, blah, blah, and TV thing, you know, Tim Allen, all this shit, that's when I really saw how dark and so, it was dark. I get creeped out. I get scared to death. It was soulless.
Yeah.
Never seen anything. And I still, every time I get out there, I feel like, oh man, I don't feel life.
Then that's on you. So whatever you sacrificing to do for your career, because there's a lot of people that sell their soul. If you want to sell your soul, go ahead and sell your soul. Because, you know, the devil is here to kill and destroy. Me, I ain't never have to sell my soul. Me, I ain't never have to be worrying about this and that. The devil could work through many different people. The record labels, the managers.
Yeah.
The devil comes in all shapes and sizes. You just got to detect who the devil is. Because a lot of people, I just want to be famous. I just want to be an Instagram. I just want to be the all these people that shoot to the thing fast, sometimes, you know, they do things that we don't know about what they do. And I consider that selling your soul.
When I came over here, my mid-20s,
right?
I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions, and nobody was really bothering to explain it to me. And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill, and it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real. Just rip your life to pieces.
Does it?
If you'll let it.
Yeah.
And it's always pounding at the walls. It's
Yeah.
these little guys, these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram trying to like beat your walls in.
Yeah.
But these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head, it doesn't take very long before it gets to you. It's cascading on you all the time. You can't get away from certain attitudes, from certain modes of behavior that this town and the industry dictate. And no matter how strong you are when you come in off the farm with those convictions and a certain line of attack, no matter how strong you are going to be affected by this place. It's going to divert you from where you were going.
Sure.
You're going to be diverted. Eat yourself alive here. And I think it takes that kind of cockroach resilience to survive in this town. I mean, this is a bizarre place. The social contract. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. You can't let it get you, because you have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken that you are going to be fucked over at some point. It was glaring to me because I was an outsider who came in.
You know, not realizing that I signed my soul. I sold my soul to the devil. I signed myself to the devil.
Well, what is the devil giving you in return? In other words, when you make a deal with the devil...
When Robert Johnson gave his soul to the devil, supposedly he gained the ability to become an incredible blues player.
How do you not go underwater with Hollywood? It's not like I'm working in Hollywood. I work in and amongst Hollywood.
You don't chase it anymore.
I ran from it because it was not serving me. It was destroying me. That's when I was getting really drunk and fucked up. That was all during that time when I just felt like I was becoming soulless. I couldn't navigate myself anymore. I just felt like I was dissipating.
I remember we had an FBI consultant on the picture telling me that they can use your ADT security box microphone to get your stuff that's going on in your house, or OnStar, they could shut your car down. And he told me that 1 in 5 phone calls that you make are recorded and logged. And I laughed at him, and then he played back a phone conversation I'd had 2 years prior to joining the picture, the FBI consultant. And it was like one of those phone calls, was like, you know, what are you wearing type of things. Really? Yes, it was mad weird.
And I don't
don't know if you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's open dialogue.
Yeah, you want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything. But
I look on Twitter, there you are. Facebook, there you are. Television, there you are. How do you do it?
I have a clone. I'm cloned. I'm cloned. I'm cloned.
They gave me a tour of Shaw Brothers Studios. And I'm taking a tour of Shaw Brothers Studios, and they take me into the screening room. And then like, okay, see that chair in the back there, that was reserved for the owner of the studio, Run Shaw. That's where he sat. And in the back room is a little bed. And that's reserved for where Run Shaw took the starlets.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, he wasn't just this guy who financed my movies. He was, kind of like a father figure. Everybody who was in his orbit knew about it. There's nobody who said they didn't know that didn't know. If you were in his orbit, and that includes all the big actors who he palled around with, like they all knew.
Uma Thurman's claim that when she was starring in Kill Bill, Tarantino insisted she drive this blue convertible instead of a stunt person, even though she says she told him she thought the car was broken. Thurman says the accident left her neck permanently damaged, calling the experience dehumanizing to the point of death. I didn't force her into the car. She got into it because she trusted me. Thurman opened up to New York Times columnist Maureen Dowd about the toxic environment she says she experienced as a woman in Hollywood, especially in the Miramax universe where director Quentin Tarantino and Harvey Weinstein reigned supreme. Thurman says Weinstein tried to force himself on her in his hotel room in London. He pushed me down. He tried to shove himself on me. He tried to expose himself.
I've had motherfuckers come at me on some weirdo shit, like on some gay shit. I've had motherfuckers come at me on some, oh, you should do this type shit. And I was like, what? Man, why the fuck would I do that? I view that as being inhuman. I view that as, I would never do that. Then they know enough about me to know that I have no fear of death. So killing me don't mean shit. It just confirms that what I said was true. I do have a fear of them hurting my family. So I'm quiet about certain things. I don't talk about everything I know. Let's just say the elitists in the world, they don't want to die. So they've been figuring out, they've been trying to figure out a way to become immortal. Now y'all can go home and drink your Androchrome, you sucker-ass motherfucker.
There's child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture because you have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world.
Rich old people are buying young people's blood to maintain their youth and vitality.
Gray in my hair, but not a lot. Listen, I'll tell you the truth. I've eaten infants to stay young. I've sucked the blood out of them. And the bone marrow, everything. I eat every part of them.
You're a third world kid.
Yeah, that's where I get them from.
Right.
I adopt them and then I eat them.
Right, of course.
And it keeps me young and feeling great.
I'm going to say no names, but some big top hats of the industry were coming at him. Males, by the way, were coming at him asking for sex. They were coming at him talking about some child trafficking stuff, and we were going to expose it all. That's what made me, was like, oh, what? He passed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I was like, hold up, whoa.
And we had a manager at the time. He would try to always keep us loaded. And we ended up having to fire the guy because it was for our own health. The guy was keeping several members of the band sick.
Yeah, there's guys that do that. There are guys that do that. And there's guys that'll do that just to sort of corral you and keep control of you. I've seen managers do that.
And every time we put out a song, we can do what we did with Say So or Trolls. Then it takes the power out of certain people's hands, and they don't like that. It's all about power here. Rules was to make it so that never in the history, again, would an artist who were being blackballed at the time would be able to go number one.
Whether it's a manager or someone that you have that can get you drugs and that keeps you on them, that's a long-standing story. That's been going on a long time, especially like with really talented people. A lot of times that person, that they can benefit financially from controlling them. Look, I'm just going to babysit you, keep you on drugs, and then suck money out of you. And then there's a lot of those guys that wind up keeping these incompetent managers for years longer than they should because the guy gets them drugs too.
Do you guys remember the whole Little Peep, the story where his management was giving him drugs and you know, and it just wasn't helping out and all that? Well, that happened to me on tour, and his name, my manager's name, Stat Quo. Remember that name, Stat Quo. Because when I was on tour, the world tours with Nicki and Juice and all that, and my manager was supplying me with the drugs. He knew all my plugs, so if I couldn't perform because I was withdrawing back then, because yes, I used to be a drug addict, no, he would call, make calls, send $5,000 out here, $5,000 out here, just to ship the drugs to wherever we're at in the world, Switzerland or anywhere in America. And he's gonna act like he didn't do that, like a fucking hypocrite. And I'm really feeling like I should take him to court, right? Because that was the time I almost died from the drugs. I was so skinny, unhealthy. Yeah, but his name is Stat Quo.
This materialistic shit don't mean shit in the world. And when they won't let you do, I'm owned. I'm a fucking slave. I'm a slave to my management. I'm a slave to everybody. I don't get control of my license. I don't get control of my bank account. I don't get control of shit. I can't even drive that fucking car. They put it in the basement so I couldn't take it.
Watch this video of his manager trying to silence him on live.
So I guess, you know what? I'm gonna hop on the fucking plane and I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm going to do so much shit. I just found out my dad. I just found out my dad is a fucking crackhead. No, stop. I just found out my dad is a fucking crackhead. Yo, Stat. Yo, look, they're really trying to take me off live right now.
I like Kevin Samuels.
He was very controversial.
He is very controversial. Yeah, he's cool.
About his views on women and.
Yeah, well, I just can't. I don't get with people that fake their deaths, bro. That's just. I'm sorry. That's why they want my ass dead. Cause I'm not gonna sit here and play with you. Like, the nigga not dead. He's family. Nigga's not dead. What the fuck? Man, Brian McKnight better stop playing, bro. I promise to God, you'll be alright. You wanna find Kevin Samuels? Ask them niggas for Brian McKnight.
There's been a lot of misdirection that I've had to do in order to protect myself from being the silence breaker for my brother, who is a rapist. And now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million. And they don't want to pay me. And it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. And Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money and they're trying to kill me off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my house. They're all involved in this and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted to hang myself. So please trust what I'm saying.
My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed. Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize.
My father, when he died, someone messaged me who was in, because my father was in the CIA.
So if somebody go to do a deal somewhere, they got to go get at the majors, and what happens is, you got the house niggas. So if you go to a major, if you go to Sony, if it's Universal, Universal owns Interscope, Universal owns Polygram, Universal owns A&M, Universal owns Def Jam, all that stuff. So Def Jam owns Rockefeller. So Universal owns Rockefeller. Universal owns everybody.
Illuminati real? And if so, why haven't I been invited? Garfield, where are you? I know you know. I know you know.
Please subscribe with notifications on.